In-turn draw to start the end from Kim Rhyme. Ends up just top 12 foot, so the door open for the Nichols. Try to come around and sit 2 with Hammer. And Nate, you talked a little bit about the gradual curl on the ice.
Mine's okay.
And that's a staple of Sean Olison's ice, his Nationals ice, and that goes all the way back to Dave Stavateg, former head ice tech for USA Curling. It's so much different. I think to go opposite ends of the spectrum, where Grand Slam ice you might watch, where it's such a sudden turn when it goes, you have to anticipate the curl in order to have any type of effect on line. With Sean's ice, if it starts curling, you still feel like you can hold the line a little bit. It's not gone once the curl starts. So it's more. You're able to do more with each shot that you at different points down the sheet. It's not all like once it's gone, we missed it. You can still affect it later in the shot.
For sure. Well, this surface has been really good to sweep on, and Sean's ice generally is, both for that line and for weight. If you're light, you feel like you can carry it pretty well on this ice, and just like you said, on draws or hits, if it starts to go, you do still have a chance to kind of keep it out there and where it needs to be.
Just tap it, right?
Yeah. Try to get to the inside and tap.
Yeah. Freeze is good, but tap's probably better.
Tap's great, even if it's on the nose.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good weight from Smitty there. Under curls just a
Natural
hair, and maybe
and I'll sweep it.
an opportunity to tap this a little bit and sit in good position.
Do you like that broom?
Where'd you take?
Like here?
I like that.
This or?
No, I like the original. Sorry.
Gabe throwing the in-turn freeze. You heard him say if it's tee, they can sweep a little bit to tap too, but the freeze is the first shot. The tap would still be above the tee line.
A little light.
Okay.
Chance to set up some really good angles. We mentioned earlier how important those angles are in doubles.
Hard then, hard.
Top 12.
Hard, keep going, keep going. Go, go, go.
I'd like to get it by the other red at least.
Am I trying to roll
does.
it?
No, I was just trying to hold it straight.
Spinning it off that would have been slightly.
Guard.
Give yourself a little extra, huh? Because we can guard the outside of it. Yeah. Yeah.
Smitty gets a look at the same shot now with this in-turn come around. Going a little bit wider than the path that they had before, so have to keep an eye on the speed on a slightly different track. Just playing this to tight guard right now.
Yeah, that's been one of the nice things in the early goings is that speed on the different paths has been fairly consistent, whether out wide like that or even under the corner guard when we inevitably see a power play down the road here. It's not too different from the true draw to the button speed.
Gabe trying to open things up in the front with only one red rock in and having Hammer. They believe they can set up a big end if they can clear things open.
Does unlock that stagger.
Yeah, got a little unfortunate. That didn't move more than one stone.
Come around here.
Yeah, if that hangs a little more and they make the double peel and the shooter rolls off, then
I mean, like
all of a
short's
sudden,
okay. Short's okay.
and it might have access to that red stone with that short run on the front yellow.
Yes. Okay, I like your weight.
Opposite side of the sheet now for Jason. Trying to get around those guards. Do not want to wreck the front here. Ooh, that's
Does open it up.
not a good miss there for Jason. Now that Yellowstone is open in the top 8.
Back or-
It should be wide open.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll probably be about edge to edge
Control.
from the hack for Gabe. Should get a real good look at this short run and just playing control. I like playing the soft weight here, Nate. Control this shot a little bit and give yourself a little more margin for error, but enough weight that you can still
You
kill
like
that rock.
Graham?
For sure, and making sure you keep that shooter around too. I mean, to make the shot, you kind of have
For
to
just control?
in this situation,
Yeah.
but keeping your shooter around and controlling your rolls, just keeping rocks in dangerous positions.
It's a big shot here for Gabe Nickel.
Weight's good.
Close. Whoa.
Weight's good.
Whoa.
Starting to turn now.
Yeah. Curl. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, over curled and ends up wrecking the guard. Just a little misread there on that line. The shot was very close to being made. Probably a little less weight than what they thought too, based on hearing control that looked closer to hack, maybe board.
Yeah, it didn't even quite remove that top 12 yellow rock. It's still hanging on back there in no man's land.
So, yep, that's fine. What's the miss, though?
We have seen some too. Those once the rocks cross that center line, they have been curling a little more, kind of holding up against it, and then going whether draw or hit weight. And kind of saw that there once it got across center. It did snap a little bit and wreck on those front guards.
Really important now to protect that stone again for Jason and Kim.
Okay, just to it. Then.
Second, third, and fourth count, all for Team Nickel.
Okay, edge.
You see the Nichols clock at 10:02 behind the sheet already, with 22 minutes starting time. They're a little behind pace. And just under 13 minutes for Kim and Jason.
Those TVs above the scoreboard with those times are an underrated but very nice feature. Nice and big, can see it from anywhere.
Good hair. Line's fine. Line's good. Line's okay. Whoa, easy if you can. Not curling yet. Still out. It's got to curl.
Really like to get this in and tuck a piece.
It's got to curl.
Hanging right now. Don't want to leave it cornered on the other one. Not sure if it curled enough. It's close.
Okay,
With
I can't
weight,
get
you-
low and do it.
I'm sorry?
I can't get low and do it.
You're buried.
No, I've got all of it.
You really? Like,
Yeah, that rock is open. I
Sure.
agree.
for nose,
Especially the way that last
It's
one
not
curled,
open.
but they
If you see
showed
it's
it'll
open,
curl under
I'm-
that guard.
I'll go with that, but I don't see that.
Well, the
I've
the
got
shot
like
that
an
Gabe
inch of
was
space.
talking about, trying to hit it high, I don't see any way that both of those
Oh,
go
no.
that
Okay.
way. I don't care who's throwing it. But I believe Kirstin's right. It's worth a
Let's
go
play it down.
regardless. Play it with some weight, get as close as you
Normal.
can to that guard, and hope that that top rock spills enough. But
Yeah.
it's
And I-
absolutely the right
Edge
shot.
on edge.
Yeah, I believe if you get anywhere
You
close to
can't
nose, you
be
could probably
nose.
score at
Nose,
least
it just
one.
goes to here with
and
the weight you're throwing.
Okay, can I make it with control?
If you get low enough, yeah, you could spring it. Control,
Yeah.
I like it. I guess even if you do this, we might still get one.
Sure.
Now under 9 minutes for
There.
the clock,
Yeah.
too. They're going to have to
You
play
want
quick in
sweep?
the second half.
yeah, that only 22 22 minutes you mentioned, certainly less than the 38 we're used to in
Yeah,
men's and
you gotta
women's,
get as low
does
as you
go
can.
quickly.
Yep.
Weights
Whoa.
up.
Whoa. It's not a curl a mile.
Cross
I'm
face.
flashing right now.
Cross face.
Yeah, it still has to curl to do that.
You
Straight
sure?
now, straight, straight,
Yeah.
straight.
Thought so. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that was ever
That's
going to get
close.
over the top, but they're looking at it just for 1 point now.
Let's just swing. It's a 5th down break anyway.
That really looks like another gimme measurement, I think. Maybe a red
Red was my first thought as well.
for a 3-0 record so far, and measuring every game. Definitely looks red.
Yeah.
So hit it maybe just high enough that it's still red.
Did you bring your gripper down?
Yeah.
Okay.
We will see our 3rd measurement of the competition on sheet C in 3 games. Looking to extend my perfect record so far. And I got to tell you, the other 2 really weren't very close at all. They were absolute gimmies. This one, probably the closest to the 3, but still looks pretty safe. So this for a single point for either team would be a very important score. Either cut it to 1 for nickel and nickel or extend the lead to 3 for Ryman Smith. And that is pretty easily read.
Didn't quite touch.
3-0 on the measurements. Boy, if they keep giving me gimmies all week, this would be great. So 6-3 at the break. Ryman Smith ahead of nickel and nickel. And halfway through, it's time for the Broomfitters break. Broomfitters.com is the place for good curling gear and fast shipping on everything curling. For a limited time, take 10% off your first order with the code USA. Visit broomfitters.com. Look at the scores on the other sheets coming out of the break. Schweitzer Hagberg in the fourth, leading 4-1 over Woodencott. Now just changed to 5-1 in the fifth. Sheet D, TC and Dropkin, the defending world champions, leading 5-0 over Farrell and Thurston. And on sheet E, Moores, Wheeler, and Persinger Casper tied at 2 in the fifth. Again, our feature game here with Tyler George and Nate Perry. 6-3. Smith and Rhyme leading. Going into our second half over Kirstin Nickel and Gabe Nickel. And Nate, a lot of the action in this game has been dictated by the first throw, starting these ends off, whether or not a team has position or not. And control has gone to the team with the hammer in those ends.
Yeah, heard Kim talking about it, knowing she's missed a few of those, and talking a little bit about having a soft release, meaning she didn't quite get out to the broom with that extension. We talked about the gentle curl on this ice, but you still got to throw them clean to have them track where you want to.
And here you see our first power play of the game. Nickel and Nickel using theirs. Kim Rhyme trying to hit this maybe to the dead zone in the corner.
Just too much.
It just goes off, so that will go back in play. As we mentioned, mixed doubles curling. No rock can be removed from play, whether it's a guard or in the house, for the first 3 throws of each end. So that guard goes right back to the corner.
Right under.
An advantage, Team Nickel.
Pretty much take what you took yesterday.
Yep.
And with the nice speed and lively houses, I think a lot of the athletes, especially those that were in New Jersey with us at the American Dream, are adjusting to the bounce there. Normally with that kind of weight, you'd see that red rock hang on, but just kept on traveling through.
Well, we always do say, coming out of the break after the mop, it's faster. John Landsteiner, pay attention. They thought this one was short out of hand, and maybe the difference after the break will be enough to get this to the rings. Wait, all there. The little redirect off the guard.
Not all bad.
Yeah, it would have been good to stay with that one, too, as it went in the house, Nate. If you sweep that another half a foot and get it behind the other stone, then there's no double opportunity.
Especially knowing your opponent, I'm sure Smitty's thinking the same thing.
Yeah, Smitty's all geared up to eventually make that double. Can't play it right now, as it is the third throw of the end.
Well, how much of an angle do we want? Yeah, I think left tack is close.
A little more positivity now from Team Nickel, too, talking about
Pick your weights there.
recovering, one bad end, we can come back. That's the talk you want to hear. That's the reinforcement for your team.
Back 8.
Just like we said, a lot of points still on the scoreboard to be had, especially with this power play. That 3-point deficit can go away in a hurry.
So Jason just playing a tap here.
Okay.
Good position. Good spot to have that rock.
How much weight?
I'm sorry.
How much weight?
Hack.
Okay. Shouldn't move.
Can throw a board. I can see it edge on edge. Board.
And Nate, with this shot, the most important thing, now when you first look at it, you think, where do I have to hit it to miss the back one?
Like that?
It's really tough to get to that spot, and you're over-rolling and leaving a pocket, even if you were to make it. So more important to play, where do we need to hit it to get a good roll?
Right.
Because even if you move that back stone and you don't kill the red,
Okay.
if you roll to a spot where there's no
Right between
freeze,
them, like
that's the key on
12.
this shot.
Okay.
little more room then.
Yeah, to your point, even losing
I
that
think
back
even a
one,
little more.
it's be pretty unlikely to score it at this point anyways with the hitting ability of Smitty. So yeah, get under that guard, get buried, start stacking a few up.
In-turn soft weight hit. And yeah, if you lose your
Weight's
back
good.
one but get a good roll, that's still a great result on this shot.
Girl.
This has got a long ways to go still to curl.
Girl.
Nickel trying to get it to turn over.
Keep going. Curl, 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 curl. I should have held it straighter.
Yeah,
Sorry.
between them.
I looked. I didn't think.
Doesn't end up in a terrible spot. It's a little tricky here for Smith.
Oh.
It is
yeah,
lonely
that
back
one's
there, but kind of rolling
Yeah.
it frozen to your other
Out of
yellow was a
play.
little
Well,
unfortunate.
No, it's on the line, but it's out of the house. Okay? You like this? What, like an 11? Okay.
Smitty throwing again, probably bored somewhere in there, maybe a hair more on this spot, trying to make sure that rock goes.
Oh.
Just a little on the wide side too.
Yep.
Maybe trying to play it yellow to yellow now.
Yep. Okay.
Well, it ends up sticking on a freeze angle, shot rock. So now good position for Team Nickel.
I think Kim tried to move to that plan B halfway down the sheet, and it was just kind of caught in between. Yeah, that freeze brings a 3 right into play.
Yeah, if you throw open, you're playing more for a 2, and you're down by 3 at this point. So the freeze is a good call. Angles are very good to play it.
Pretty low risk too, even if you were to come up short or miss it for some reason, you're still mostly buried, angle frozen.
Gabe throwing the intern freeze. Have to stay on the high side, not over curl, but doesn't look like that's an issue right now. Well, line's really good. Well, that's a really good shot there. Perfectly done. Can't hand place that one better by Gabe. Now sitting 2, frozen.
Very well done.
You think you can get here?
Gabe was, if you heard his comment there about judging rocks, he was calling back 8, but that's another thing about this surface is if you don't keep a broom down, they will grab, they will stop on you. And thinking it was heavy, he wasn't sweeping and stopped just in time.
Which I don't really know what that gets us.
Yeah, they probably just got all inside, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're going to kill our back one, which is fine. Sit on nose. I don't know, come here. Just to sit here.
If you're tuning in a little late, had a mic issue with falling off of Jason earlier in the game. Wonder why we can't hear him. Now we can stand nice and close to Kim so we can hear both of them.
I think you have to throw like 10.5 at the most to get all the way to nose. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then we just have to hit something to eliminate one. You can see most of this one. So.
Sure. Okay. So 10.5. I mean, even I think like an 11.5. Okay. Okay.
So this is essentially a setup shot, Nate, where they're just trying to unlock this and sit on top of it so that they have a way to clear Yellowstone on the last one. Because where they're set up, there really isn't a way to clear either of the yellows.
You can't really remove either, so hoping to kind of keep those angles and get rid of that back red one, maybe sit first if not second, and a chance for Kim to remove one of those yellows on her last.
And if Smitty can keep this on the right angle, they may be able to be shot rock, which is also just as important.
Close.
Quite a bit of weight here for this shot, too, for Smitty.
Oh. Okay. Good.
Well done.
Good.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
And shot rock, too.
I think that's the biggest thing. Kim and Jason had talked. If they hit that just wrong, the Nichols might just draw open, sit 3, and then what? So sit and shot.
Okay.
It's wide
makes
open.
the opponent
Honestly,
address that
loose
stone.
moves up a little bit's
Yeah,
good.
just nose or just a hair low?
Hair low, we got to get into there.
Okay.
I'm thinking those yellows aren't going to go very far. Like board,
Okay. John.
it's got to be the end, yeah?
Yeah.
Another one, as you mentioned, got a little tricky, almost playing to over-roll it and could pretty easily roll too far, open, or even out of the rings.
I like the weight call here. I think board is
Yeah,
the
that's
minimum
not
you can
less
throw
room
on
in my
this
loss.
shot
Yeah.
because you
Yeah, I
probably
like
need
it.
it to kick off of the yellow to get out with how close they are together. So if you soft it at all, even if you hit it in a perfect spot, that rock might not go out. So I would say board is the
Weight's
minimum
good.
you can throw here.
Weight's good.
Yes, yes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Close. Curl, no, straight, 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 straight.
Line's really good here.
Go, 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 go. You got to go. Go hard, 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 hard. All the way
Does-
out, all the way out.
Get far enough, I think, to sit 3. Yep.
Sweet.
It's a really nice
Yeah, it
shot. That's
does.
about the only place you could hit it to stick with that weight and still sit 3.
And we get 4 seconds back, right? That's the rule. I've been a driver before. It's like it struck the jaw. For sure. It's really good. It's about as good as you could have done there.
Yeah.
But keep the
It
shooter.
appears they're going to try a similar shot to what Jason made and
Well,
only remove
I
one,
see
but
why
try to
it
keep that angle.
it looks yellow to me.
Yeah, they could hit it high and stay on top of it. They could also cross it and hit it a little low, remove one and roll under the corner, and probably be either shot or second shot. If you lose one, your absolute worst case is tied up with the hammer playing the 6th. But if you can get that roll under the corner, it's probably best case at 2. Kim Rhimes' final shot. Just trying to remove at least one yellow and roll underneath that corner guard if they can.
Curl! Curl! Hard! Hard! Hard, 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 hard!
And just a little on the wide side and ends up,
Okay. Sorry.
who gets a little lucky with the stuff on the opposite side. So now they have to hit that stone instead of drawing.
Removes a rock and sat second, but I don't think that's quite how she drew it up.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, yeah.
Now Yellowstone on the back line is not in the house either, so this is only a shot for 3. Make contact, you get 2. If you stick around, you get 3.
Yep.
So big shot. Try to tie this game up for Team Nickel. Kirstin Nickel's final shot.
Weight's heavy.
Out-turn hit.
Yeah, a little. Yes. Yes.
Playing inside out, this should
Yes,
curl pretty hard.
hard.
It is curling a lot.
Hard! Hard! Hard!
Makes contact, but not enough to move it out of second count. So
Yep.
just a single
Yep.
for Team Nickel. They trail 6-4 now after 5 ends of play.
Good try.
Beginning of the
all
6th
good.
then in our feature matchup. After being held to a single on their power play the previous end. Team Nickel now facing the power play of Ryman Smith, trailing by 2. Ryman Smith obviously with hammer.
Mine's okay.
Key spot here now for Kim and Jason after dodging a bit of a bullet last end. The hit for 3 for Team Nickel and ends up over curling. And again, a tough break for the Nickels as well with that roll out by Kim Rhyme jamming on a stone in the back and sitting, or it's a guaranteed 2 with a free draw for 3.
For 3, that's right. And here's where you'll see some of the different strategy of a power play come into effect. You saw Kim try to throw that tick shot on the corner against the power play, and now the Nickels need to generate some scoring, throw up that center guard. And Kim and Jason are playing at this power play relatively defensively. Already have that lead, just making sure they score and keep ahead moving into the final couple ends. Kim playing the center line tick, which you don't see anymore in the 4-person game.
Jeez. Poor Kim, that's twice now on tick shots that she's been a millimeter off of making a great shot and instead ends up going out of play. A couple good throws.
Very close.
An inch.
Another tricky part with doubles, there's only 4 sets of eyes out there in total instead of 4 per team. You can lose track of some of those things pretty easily.
So that center guard still in play for the Nickels. If we want to tell a really terrible joke, which we've done a lot already this week, you know, we just keep calling them the Nickels, and there's 2 of them. So the obvious nickname would be
Weight's
Team
good.
Dime.
The
right?
dime, yeah.
Weight's nice. Weight's perfect.
And that's never an insult. You called it dime,
Back
so
four.
I mean,
Absolutely.
not so bad. We're not going to do that. We're just saying we could.
Looks like they set up a traditional doubles end by themselves.
Yeah, all of a sudden we're right back to center guard and back of the 4-foot. But because that is the 3rd stone thrown, now Smitty's able to throw a hit. So possibly a run back, but at the very least trying to open things up. He does like to throw them hard. Just a peel on that one. Takes a couple people to catch that one. You wanted to laugh at that Team Dime thing, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. I tried not to.
Yeah, probably best not to. So Gabe trying to replace that center guard, playing the out-turn side.
Yeah, apparently.
You got to be happy right now if you're Team Nickel, too, with the power play ending up something where you're protecting one of your stones against the 2 at worst right now.
Yeah, traditional doubles ends can get out of hand and get lopsided pretty quickly. Power plays even more so to limit the damage as much as possible. It's always good.
That's frustrating. Great waves.
Yeah.
Under curls just a touch, so
Right?
It's a good throw.
Jason's going to have a go at this stone on the back of the 4-foot.
Okay, it's just not going to curl up.
Good news for the Nickels, even if this is made, you've still got your guard up there and can make that draw in the house even better than the one existing.
Yeah, you're likely in all-out steal mode at that point. 2-point deficit without hammer and only 2 ends to play after this. So yes, if Smitty's able to make this in turn, probably hack to board weight hit, you may be going right back around that guard anyways.
Close, yep, yep.
This is turning early.
Clean, wall. Yep, yep, hard, 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 yes, hard.
Hey, good shot there. It's sitting right on the button. And Nichols rightfully just playing a little tap with this. No reason to hit that stone. And maybe set up a steal and maybe set up a force.
Talk about above tee line being imperative, but covering the pinhole does have to be moved if the other team wants to score.
In-turn tap for
Slight.
Gabe Nickel.
Okay. Got room. Line's close.
Needs to get up a little bit.
Straight.
Weight's good. Top button.
Whoa.
Sit.
Very good shot.
Well done.
Close for who's shot rock. Looks like it might be still red right now, but
Picking it.
doubtful that it's still going to be. They're both still going to be there at the end of this end.
I mean, I think we're still 1 right now. So,
May still be 1, but that Red Rock's doing nothing but help the opposition
I
at this
mean,
point
how-
for
how
Smitty and Kim.
fancy do- can you hit this really soft weight and sit here? I mean, then she's got a double. Then we got an open hit. hopefully
Did
for
see that
2.
Team Nickel was low on
Right.
time
The only thing is that
getting to the second half of this game.
Yeah. I mean, I just. Yeah. Okay.
Interested to see where they're at on their clock now, too.
Bring in the expertise of Bill here.
Here? Yeah. Corner freeze?
What do you think, Tyler? I think, especially with Smitty's hitting ability, throw one hard at that top button rock. If you lose the backing, great. Especially where that guard is, I don't think you can just dead jam it on the button.
Yeah, I think you almost want to make contact with your own. If your shooter stays, I mean, it's pretty unlikely with the weight they'd be playing, but if you lose both and you make them draw around,
I mean, I don't mind.
it's probably a preferable situation to just picking it out clean and letting them freeze on that stone where
Yeah.
you might not be able to get it out at all. I don't think you can throw a guard because you have to place it pretty well to not leave them some kind of tap to maybe steal 2 if there's even a small mistake.
Right, and they are pointing at some kind of draw, it looks like.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Let's do it. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
I always like Kim's reinforcement for her teammates too, whether it's in the women's game or the mixed doubles game. Very calm energy, positive but not so cheery that it seems like it's forced, and able to be self-deprecating too, which teammates really appreciate that. If you make a mistake and you can tease yourself a little bit without going negative, that's a good vibe for your team. She
Absolutely.
brings so much to the table for her squads in just staying calm, staying positive, but in a very natural fashion.
All right, well, her and Jason both just so genuine with that. If you've met either of them off the ice, that's just how they are. Great
Yeah.
people to be around, as most curlers are. But
Really good mix for teammates,
A little late.
the way they handle themselves on the
Top
ice.
8. Top 8. Top 8.
Now, if this is top 8, you don't really want it to over curl. If it staggers off,
I believe I saw Jason pointing at top 8 just off center line, so close to where they wanted. But
yeah, may have over curled just a little bit.
Good throw. Good weight. Oh. I think it's fine. I don't know. We'll see. No.
So just going to play the guard here.
these ones always feel tricky because I get the sentiment they don't want to
Big ass.
set up
25.
something for the other team, but I also don't think Kim or Jason would hit the stack as it sits right now themselves. So
Line's getting better.
2.
Okay.
So there may be a look just to draw the side of the
Gotta get over
button.
to the center line though.
It's
for a second point. You really got to get tight to that yellow stone to make it, but might be able to get enough of it. Where Kim is looking right now.
Okay. Yeah. Just toss it.
Well, they're talking about throwing it away and not risking moving that yellow stone. I think on the intern side in particular, there's enough room to get by that corner guard certainly on the wide side and make it.
Certainly a little more room to conceal out of the button, but I think to Jason's point, it is so close to that yellow that if you ever did tick it.
I agree, yeah. Do you want to
It'd be awfully tough on the intern side with how those rocks are angled. Even if you touch the yellow, I don't think it's moving any closer. So maybe Smitty's taking a look at that now and saying, "Man, I think that intern's safe."
The amount they're talking about, you wouldn't do this if it was just a throw through.
I think it's worth a try. I don't think there's any risk on the intern.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, they are going to have a go at it. I think you absolutely should.
Really out
Yeah,
there.
we're at
Is it
3-point
light?
lead's a
Don't
great
worry
place to
about
be.
it.
A 4-point lead just about over with 2 ends left.
I'm like really out there. It's fine. Just leave
Yeah,
it.
that does look a little bit on the light side. So they'll just let it stop. Take what we assume to be
Agreed,
the
yeah.
single point.
Yeah.
Go ahead and measure this too. Give me another win.
4 for 4.
Unfortunately, no. It is just a single without the measure. So Ryman Smith now leading 7-4 after 6 ends of play.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
Beginning of the 7th, here in our feature matchup. On sheet C, as it will be all week long, Kim Ryman, Jason Smith, after taking a single in the 6th, now lead Gabe and Kirstin Nichols 7-4. Tyler George here with Nate Perry.
Mine's getting better. Straight, straight.
2 power plays, trading singles.
Straight, straight, straight.
I think that rock actually might have picked a little bit from Kim once it crossed the hog line, that sudden turn. Very good spot, though, starting the end.
Well placed nonetheless.
That curled in hard. Yeah. I was like,
So if you're Team Nickel right now, Nate, your goal without question is to score at least 2. Get yourself into a manageable 8th end. Stealing a single point, not uncommon at all in the mixed doubles game. So you need to get a multiple point end to give yourself that chance.
Especially having burned the other team's power play, and you've got the guard and the backing already if you can get into that steal 1 type situation.
And that miss by Kirstin is going to make that a little tougher. Key shot now for Smith to try to get to top 4 again.
try to run and pick on the
Talked
next
about it many times, keeping those angles and keeping it above T-line, and Kim placing that first one about as well as you can. Has to be
Assuming,
addressed at some point.
run and double, I should say.
And now they get to stack another right on top of it.
If nothing happens, I'll just corner freeze.
I was probably
Been talking a lot about the ice conditions as well. Another feature of Sean's ice is it does hold up very well, especially in the doubles game with fewer rocks. So anticipate the speed's just the same as it was earlier, that mid-14 type number.
We've heard nothing from the players so far about losing
no,
ice.
okay.
And
Wait's okay.
the second draw of the game, in mixed doubles games, obviously less rocks and less ends. You don't see flat ice at the end of games nearly as much.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see when we get to that fourth game tonight, the fourth game of the day, that
Sorry, too much.
the ice still holds
I
up
think we got
throughout
corner freeze.
the entirety of the day. Saw that one go deep again now, so doesn't look like we're losing any speed.
No.
Maybe a bit of a reprieve for Team Nickel.
Yeah, line. Yes.
Hear
Yes.
Kim talking about how great a sweeper she is.
Yes.
One of the underrated parts about doubles is getting to see those skips out there working hard.
Yeah, well, the skips always say they're the best sweepers on the team. They just don't get to show it as much. They get that 6-foot area usually where they think they're the best in the world.
That just came
Kim
off
kind of
right
facetiously
away.
saying what a powerful sweeper she was and laughing about it. But don't sell yourself short, Kim. Rested. We'll just use that term.
Yeah.
Same shot. I think so. Yeah. Just, yeah.
So that wrecks the guard and comes up a little short again. And it's a little bit of a force field around that top four right now.
Okay, let's wait.
Jason
Let's
can
wait.
really help his team
Think you're like top
put the
12?
hammer down right now.
Top 12.
Get that top four position with a
Top
second
8.
rock.
T-line. T-line.
Another one seems to be running hot in the same path.
This particular path is just gliding right now. And that's going to go deep too. You heard Kim calling top 8,
Or
even
backing.
Yeah.
2/3 of the way down, and ends
And
up
on
going
the-
all the way back.
And on his first, she was calling T-line and giving it some sweeping and ended up all the way back 12. Tricky
If I could
place.
ever get it right across that red,
Yeah, like hit it here.
yeah, I could lose all of them. Is there enough separation I could hit this side of the rock too?
Probably.
Okay, it's worth considering that. That's an easier shot.
Okay.
Probably the shot.
Okay.
It's got to be good peel.
Never ideal to be throwing these kind of shots needing
Yep.
multiples, but as much
like
as Smitty
that?
likes throwing high, hard ones, I
trying
think
to hit
Gabe's
it
right there with
high.
him.
Just a hair.
Probably
Certainly
last.
in his wheelhouse to
Okay.
make.
So run back with the second option of the double peel on the intern side for Gabe.
Ow, just quit curling. Quit curling, you.
Ends up just sticking.
No, you're fine. I got it.
So 2 guards still up there.
Kind of feels like the reverse of those first couple ends where we were talking about how that first shot wasn't exactly where the teams wanted it, but some makes following it up. That lonely top button rock Kim threw right to start is still there, untouched.
Qualification for this event for both of these teams, Ryman Smith through the Colorado Cup, and their finish in that event. For the Nickels on mixed doubles points for the season.
I just,
Got them into this national championship.
but I think you're only gonna, where are you gonna get? You're not gonna get, I don't think
It's certainly unique, all the different ways to qualify for this event. Seems like just about everyone found a different method.
yes,
Another come around draw. This opposite side, we'll see if the speed is the same as the out turn that they were throwing. This one turning over early. And with a little more curl and the opposite side carrying more, but looks like it's going to get all the way into the fours.
Okay, good.
And does get to top four. Pretty good. Completely buried. Very close for second count.
So tight.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think I'm running the red.
Okay.
It looks like just a hair high, and they all three go.
Okay.
Tough run back here for Gabe Nickel. Saying all three go. If it's a hair high, it's got to go tick, tick on both of those reds. Extremely difficult run. But moving this stone, at the very least, the angle's there for the double on their last, if available. See what Gabe can do with this.
Shoot. Dang it.
Yeah, a little on the tight side again. So peels the yellow off.
Well, that's ball game.
And the angles still stay pretty good for Kim and Jason now. So just replacing the guard with where those rocks are at. The angle's playing very well for Ryman Smith already.
Okay, I think your weight's like, I'm like a 2. 1. 2.
If the stagger's inside the other guard, there really isn't a straight-on run either. If they finish this a little bit,
Throw it away.
Okay.
and deciding there is no shot to score. So just throwing it away to give one. Play the final end down 4 with hammer. They're going to take a closer look just to make sure.
Two seem awfully close.
They called one. They agreed to one.
All right, well, I'm going to say
No.
Smitty
Well,
agreeing that he may have
I just-
confirmed it,
I
so
would have been fine with you measuring it. It just.
almost gave me another freebie there. But it is a single. So 8-4, Ryman Smith leading nickel and nickel through 7 ends. And after the 7th end, USA Curling would like to take this moment to thank the curling community for supporting the sport and the national organization. Whether it's through your membership, donations, or volunteer hours that help our game grow. Your support makes many of our efforts possible, whether it's the webcast coverage you're enjoying right now, the Our House content platform, certification programs for instructors and officials, or the Athlete Outreach Initiative. On behalf of USA Curling, thank you all for what you do. Looking at the scores around the other sheets. On sheet B, a final, Schweitzer and Hagberg, 9, Woodcott 2. Get to 1-1 for that squad. Sheet D, TC and Drop can improve the 2-0 with a 7-2 win over Farrell and Thurston. And on sheet E, still going, Persinger Casper leading 5-2 in the 8th over Moores and Wheeler. And on our feature sheet, 4-point lead now, 8-4 for Ryman Smith entering the final end of play. We know Nickel and Nickel are very tight on time here starting this end. We'll have to see where exactly they're at. My eyes say 136 with a timeout remaining to try to play this entire end. Uphill battle anyways, Nate. You never know in mixed doubles, but with a 4-point deficit and the clock is short as it is, it's going to be some tough sledding for Team Nickel here. You see only 2:22 for Smith and Rhyme, not a lot either.
And with only 6 rocks to score 4, including the one placed one, that freeze by Kim effectively, well, I think she made it well enough to kind of outcount that back one and take it out of play, so cutting them down already.
Yeah, tough to keep that in the house, move it around and make it count eventually. So you need to tap these a little bit, if not now, but at some point.
Yeah, just throw it in there. Yeah.
So Jason's just going to throw another rock in.
Okay, I think your weight's there. A little touch light, maybe. Okay, it's a little light.
So in-turn draw for Smitty. Playing a freeze right to that pile. Keeping rocks on a line.
Good.
Getting tougher to make those yellows count now.
You're gonna know better than me. I'm not there.
I don't know what you can see. Like
I
back
can
12?
see edge on edge.
Okay.
Whatever you think to bump the back yellow and not lose it.
I think back 12.
Okay, I think I need less.
And now a 4-rock transfer, Nate. So you're going to need all of back 12.
That back 12 might just look like a freeze when it's all said and done.
Yeah, that might move that rock a couple inches, and that'd be about it.
Whoa.
But a good teaching point for those watching, too, with that
Weight's good.
rock transfer we talked about. Essentially, for every rock that you're tapping, you need an extra rock of weight for where you need to move it. It's a solid foot.
Pretty good for the moment.
And that's pretty good. Kept it in play. The angles are a little better.
Dead, for sure. It's okay.
I think you just guard it. Yeah.
Good call by Kim here. You guard it. At some point, the Nickels do have to make some sort of peel or run back, and that's a rock that can't go into the house, that shooter, if it's hitting something in front of it.
Okay,
Plus, with 2 frozen reds in there, some work to do yet for the Nickels.
a little less. 3, 4.
And this is going to be
2.
short of the rings and curling hard now, too. Well, that almost looked like that picked something up at the end, too. That's a really sharp turn.
Sorry. Should have kept sweeping, I guess.
Yeah, you want to move that back red significantly and hope that the yellow that's on the button spills wide so that the other red is unlocked, too. I'm not sure if that angle goes over the top of the back yellow or not, but if it does,
Right, that would
this
be
could
the other
start to get
bonus.
interesting. There you see 40 seconds on the clock and still their timeout remaining, but saving that. Trying to get it to curl to make contact. And just catches too thin. That is an interesting angle now.
Yeah,
that yellow-red might clear both reds.
right, and certainly misses the back one now. It's just whether or not you can get a yellow one to stick with it.
Yeah, you're going to need a guard here now. That if that's open, that shot could be to sit 4. I think it's angled just perfect
Just
to
right.
miss all the back yellows.
I can make the shot with.
That's what I thought I did.
You're like a 2 right now. 1, 2.
Down to 39 seconds for the Nickels and just a minute and a half for Kim and Jason, who have already used their timeout.
I'm surprised they're not in the hack already to throw this next shot. If you're going to use your timeout now, that's fine. But
in a situation like this, it's almost, there
you go.
it is. Almost preferable, because if you got to make a shot for 4 and there's only one option, it's probably more straightforward
5
than what they've got
seconds.
here.
Yeah, the run is there. The problem with if you make it now, even if you do sit 3, that
You
back
run it.
stone is open.
Just trying to lose that one, because if that hits that, that
We
goes.
run it, we lose that one, we leave this one here.
Yeah.
That's for 4.
So we have to hit this high.
Yep.
You know, you
Not
almost
too
want to
high.
throw one in the house again.
Looks
Right.
Really, looks
So
on
you
the
have a
nose
chance
to
You
me.
have that run
last.
for
It
the
looks
win.
nose to
Well,
misread to me.
There may be
I
2
think you're
runs,
high on
too.
the
The,
red, so we
the
can
one
We
that's
have to
open, but the
spring
2
that
reds
red
might
out to give
drag
ourselves 2
if you catch
chances
the
in there.
outside of that.
That-
Right.
This red.
No,
Well, yeah.
no.
Okay.
The shooter,
Sure.
or not the shooter.
You'd have
I
to
don't
have
know
it
how
go
we don't
over the
lose this
top
one, though. That's all I wanted
and
It's
to know.
spill
scattered.
out
We're
to
never
make the
touching
back
that
count,
one.
too. But
So we're running this one back.
But yeah, to your point, even if made, that I think Kim's lining up that open hit in the back to.
Right on the
Nose on this one.
nose or even a hair low.
Okay.
yeah, I think dead nose
Still think here
loses
we
both
don't
reds
have a minute.
Looks
if
really
he does
close.
make it. But
That was the
again,
travel time.
unfortunate that yellow stone would just be an open hit in the back.
We've done this before.
I know.
Gabe and Kirstin thinking their travel time
Just
was
call
their
Bill
timeout
and see what he
time.
wants to see.
Still has some more time to think about their options here.
What kind of weight you want to throw? That was my one concern with the broom you put down. It looked like you wanted me to throw peel.
I thought that's what you
Like
wanted.
I don't think we can whip this because we need the shooter, the runner to stay.
Okay. So how much weight do you want to throw?
It's-
Firm, normal?
It looks like normal to me.
Just throw normal. Do you like there for normal?
Interesting. I'm wondering what the thought process is.
For a hair low.
Heard Gabe say they want the rock they're running into the house to stay.
Might need a little more. Yeah.
Yeah, if that's what they're referring to, I'm not sure either. I would understand why they think they need the shooter to stay, because they think they're guarding up the rocks that are in the house.
Right.
But I mean, it still doesn't matter. They're hitting the backstone regardless. Yeah, they're not throwing peel, which is actually going to make this shot tougher.
Whoa.
Weight's good.
Close. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Curl. Curl.
I think we're done. There's no
I
shot.
don't think you are.
Right?
Not yet. You're not.
Okay. Well,
Let them throw their.
If you take
I was like, yeah.
If you take a look at their angles, I mean,
Yeah,
if Kim makes
it's-
the hit, the game is over. But
I was going to say, yeah, that's as it sits now.
yeah, you do have a shot to clear both reds still. The shooter needing to stay is the tough part.
Right.
You'd have to throw firm and get as close to that guard as you can. Hope it finishes a little bit to stay, but I wouldn't shake.
No,
I'm
and-
still surprised that they're not hitting the back
Right,
stone.
yeah, Kim opting for the guard here is interesting as well.
If you make the guard, it's probably game over too, because the shooter has to count on this shot.
Curling. Yep. Curl. Yep. Hard. Keep going. Yep. Keep going. Yep. Hard. Keep going. Yep.
Working to
hard,
close
hard,
down
hard.
that
Think, think,
porch.
think. Hard, hard,
Yeah, it should be good enough. Now I don't think they have a shot.
Okay.
good game, guys.
Yeah, that should do it.
There it is.
So I believe that scored a single for red and a. We'll get clarification on if that point counts there. Booth, what do we think? X? All right, so we're going with an 8-4 final in that game. Smith and Rhyme take the W. Hard-fought battle. Nickel had some opportunities in the middle of the game. Again, we go back to that power play, the open hit for 3 on that bad break where they could have been just drawing for 3. But a good win for Smith and Rhyme.
What?
Gets
Moving
them
to
to
2-0.
2-0,
Down
yeah.
there.
I have no
Tough road
clue.
for Nickel going forward now at 0-2. 2 games down today. Still 2 more to go.
Yeah, excited I get to be on the other side of the glass with the microphone later on this afternoon.
Our next draw today will be Bear and Oldenburg taking on Podol and Perry. Again on sheet C here, you see the finals all around. Schweitzer Hagberg 9-2 over Wood and Cott. TC and Dropkin 7-2 over Farrell and Thurston. And sheet E now a final as well. Persinger and Casper winning 7-2 over Moores and Wheeler. Our feature game, Kim Rime and Jason Smith with the 8-4 victory over Gabe and Kirstin Nickel. So thanks to Nate Perry for joining us in the booth here. We'll probably hear from Nate at some point later in the week too, but he's got to do some curling at some point. And glad you got to get a scouting report on the sheet from watching the game. That's the payment that you get for helping us out in the booth. Is you get to watch the sheet.
Maybe you should use that hog-to-hog clock a little more often.
Well, we appreciate you watching. We will be back once again later this afternoon, early evening. Final score 8-4, Ryman Smith over Nickel and Nickel. We'll see you later today.